Hi everyone, Vanessa Webb, Stampin' Demonstrator Australia here. Today we're going to be making a tea light holder which is suitable for the battery operated tea lights, so please do not put a real candle in here once you've created it. What you're going to need to make this is the poinsettia petals bundle, so that's the stamp set, as well as the poinsettia dies. You're also going to need some of the flocked, the plush poinsettia specialty paper, which is, that vellum that's got the flocked pattern on it. So you can use any 6x6 square of that. You'll also need to grab some brushed metallic 12x12 cardstock. So I'm using the gold, and I've pre-embossed my large poinsettias in gold, so it's tone on tone. So the gold really stands out against the ribbon. And also you're going to need some of the embellishments, so the beaded pearls embellishments, which is part of the poinsettia suite. We're going to colour those using a Stampin' blend, the cherry cobbler Stampin' blend. And you'll also need some of the reversible ribbon, so that's the Old Olive and Pretty Peacock reversible ribbon, which is really pretty, and it tones in with the reds and the whites in this project. So that's all you need to get started. Oh, and we're going to stick everything together with glue dots and tear and tape. So they're the two adhesives that you'll need to have on hand. So let me just get these out of the way to start, and I'm going to bring in my Stampin' trimmer. And so your poinsettia specialty paper, which is the vellum, you're going to need a 6x6, starting off with a 6x6 square of that. And when you bring your trimmer in, you're going to actually do a score line that is 2 centimeters in from one edge. So I'm just going to make that very pronounced. Now don't worry if you break some of the flocking, that is fine. You just want a nice crisp fold so that when you come to cut into that fold, it's going to hold for you, and that is actually what is going to give your tea light holder its shape down the bottom in particular. All right, so 2 centimeters in from one edge, and then I'm going to grab my paper snips, and I'm just going to go along, and every, say, 1.5 centimeters or so, I'm going to cut just up to that score line. So just bringing it along here, and this is what's actually going to help us shape the bottom of our tea light holder, as I said. So you can see as it comes around, we form a cylinder shape, and these little flaps all fold in at the bottom. So what I'm going to do before I put it all together is I'm going to adhere the edges to each other, and you just need a little bit of the tear and tape. This is really strong, this tear and tape, so it's going to help the vellum, the underside of the vellum, stick to the flocked side of the vellum. We want that to be nice and firm. I'm just going to use my paper snips to get that little edge up there and peel that off. And then I'm going to roll this around so that those two edges overlap each other like that. So once they're lined up, you want to press all the way down and make sure that that seal is nice and firm. So then we're going to press our little pieces in like that, which will enable us to sit the cylinder on top of the flowers that I have already pre-embossed and cut at my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now we're going to stick these two flowers together first with some glue dots. As I said, the only adhesives you'll need for this project are glue dots and your tear and tape. So I'm just going to pick one glue dot, and I'm just going to, actually maybe I'll do two, just to make it nice and strong. And then I'm going to stick these two together. You want to offset the petals so that at the base of your candle holder, you've actually got something that is a little bit wider, so that, yeah, so you've got something for it to sit on, something substantial. And then we're going to get some glue dots, and we're going to place them on about 5 spots on the flaps that will be touching the poinsettia, the gold poinsettia, once we've assembled it. So you actually want to make sure that these glue dots are in the right spot so that they're not sort of overlapping on top of each other. That looks pretty good. I might just put one, I might just put another one here. Oops, let me just get this out. There we go. Beautiful. Alrighty, so we're going to pop these together like this and then flip it over and then sit this on the top so it's pretty much centered on top of those poinsettias. And once it's in the right spot, you might want to use your Stampin' Blend just to kind of press it down. That's a nice height to do that. And then if you've got any bits that are kind of just still sitting up, you might want to add another couple of glue dots. Just get your scissors like this and get another couple of glue dots just to secure it at the bottom a little bit more like that. And you'll find that once you've secured it, it will sit fairly straight. Remember too, when you've got your little candle in there, it is actually going to add some weight to it. So let's just try. I'm going to turn this candle on. You get these from IKEA in packs of 5 or 10, I think, and then just kind of sit it in there like that, and that will help keep it stable and steady. There you go. All right, so now we're going to decorate the outside of our candle holder. And I'm using some of the poinsettias that I have cut already from the gold brush metallic cardstock, and using these 2 dies in the poinsettia dies. These actually put a pattern on the cardstock as well as cut the shape out, so you've got a lovely embossed pattern. And when you pop them on, when you lay them together, they actually look like they've been embossed like our base poinsettias, whereas they've just been run through the Big Shot using those beautiful dies. So the detail is just gorgeous. Now for our beaded pearls, we're going to adhere them first. So you need to use a couple of glue dots to do that. And the underside is just a flat silver. So you want to grab a couple of these glue dots to make sure that, slide that. Make sure it's going to stick and just pop that right in the middle. It's best to adhere it first, and then you're going to grab your Stampin' Blend, and I'm going to use the smaller end of my Stampin' Blend just to colour in those pearls so that they look a little bit more like holly berries, and it adds a little bit of extra colour to this project. Otherwise it would just be white, gold and green, which is okay, but I like to add a little bit of red because it just makes it look a little bit more Christmassy. All right, you don't have to go right to the edge with those. In fact, if you stick to the middle, you won't get the red ink from the blend on any of the silver, and it'll still be lovely and sparkly. Because we've used a blend as well, that is going to dry straight away, so you don't have to worry about that red coming off. It's permanent because we've used the alcohol marker. So that's another way you can use your blends. You can colour your embellishments. Now what I'm going to do is just wrap a bit of this beautiful reversible ribbon around my tea light holder. So I'm just going to cut it just so it's overlapping at the back there. And I'll use some glue dots again. So I'm going to grab one glue dot here, and I'll put one glue dot in the middle. So really you only need 2 glue dots. And I'm going to make sure that my join at the back, the ribbon, meets up with the join on the back of my cylinder. and I'm going to put it about there, so like it go towards the top, and then overlap these at the back, and then press your finger down like that, and then we're going to put our little embellishment on the front. So you've got all the joins happening at the back. I'll just put that right there. And that is your project done. You could make a couple of these as gifts for people. They'd be really lovely to have on the Christmas table on Christmas Day. And yeah, you could decorate them with flowers and have them, use them all year round if you wanted to. I hope you enjoyed this project and I hope you give that a go at home. Thanks so much for watching and I'll be back soon. Bye.